welcome to episode 18 of the Woolly Wolverine podcast. My name is Laura and I am the host of this podcast. So today is the 1st of July 2017 and I'm coming to you from my home in Ireland, where I live with my two sisters, my parents and my little kitty Neo. Thought it was probably a good idea to kind of do the introduction spiel as I've been away for a little while. It's been 3 weeks since I last podcast. Nothing much going on. I think it's just difficult. The podcast mojo isn't very strong during the summer. I don't know what it is. That seems to be the case with a lot of people. I've kind of had similar kind of sentiments being mirrored kind of on other podcasts. So I'll put down in the links in the down bar where you can find the show notes and where you can find me on the interwebs. So I'm pretty much Wolverine or Woolly Wolverine everywhere, but I'll have it linked down below. So I suppose this will be quite a quick episode. I'll just kind of give you a quick update as to what I've been working on and what's going on and what's upcoming, and yeah. So where to start? I've got like things surrounding me down here, so I think I will start with finished objects, as that is usually where I like to begin. So I've nothing fully finished, as you all know if you are a returning viewer. I refuse to weave in ends. I have something wrong with weaving in ends and washing and blocking things for some reason. My previous episode, I believe I kind of had lots of projects that had ends still to be woven in, so they're all done. You'll be relieved to hear, I'm sure. You'll be able to sleep at night now. But I have two finished objects other than ends and blocking in this bag. So this is my Maker's Haven Harry Potter inspired bag by Amber, who is a delight. If you don't follow her, make sure you do. But yes, so I've got two little projects in here. I think I mentioned both on my last episode, but I'm not too sure. So first I have a pair of socks for Dave. So these are Drops Fable print, I suppose. And I don't have the ball band. I'm the worst podcaster ever. But I will put the colorway number down in the show notes in case you're interested. But it's these green kind of printed. They're really long because he has man feet. And I know what you're saying. You're saying, Laura, you haven't put a heel in them yet. But let me tell you a wee story. So I've knit 3 pairs of these. Is the 3rd pair of socks that I've knit for Dave so far. The first pair I knit him for his birthday this year, and they were slightly too short in the leg, so they're more like ankle socks, and he wanted a bit of a longer leg. So the second pair I did a longer leg. However, he is reporting that they are too baggy. So for this pair I reduced the number of stitches. So I knit them on 2.5mm needle and 72 stitches for his other socks. These were 68, so I reduced it by 4 stitches to just give it a bit more negative ease. And because it was the print, I was going to do an afterthought heel in a limey kind of green colour. So when he was last here, I got him to try it on just to kind of measure his foot and see where I was going to cut the heel in. But as he put it on, he felt that they were comfortable enough as they were, and he liked the fit. So he wants no heel. I know they'll probably stretch and wear, and they'll be quite tight over his instep, so they probably will wear quicker. But this is relatively inexpensive sock yarn, so if he likes it, sure, why not? He'll be back to me, I'm sure, in no time, asking me for a heel. But we'll see how he goes with the no heel and see if he enjoys it. So I'm going to wash them this evening and weave in these ends, and I can give them to him tomorrow. So they are socks for Dave, which I've finished. Next, I believe I'd mentioned that I was going to be knitting a baby jumper for a friend in work who is having a little boy. So I used the flax light as the pattern. I didn't do the garter ridges down the arms, I just kept it straight stockinette, but I was striping. So I used 3 colours by Debbie Bliss in the Baby Cash Merino, and the 3, I have all the ball bands here, fantastic. So here it is, all done. A little bit closer there so you can see the colours. So it's kind of a teal, this way here for the light, teal, grey, and then this kind of slightly greyish kind of blue. And it's just stockinette, raglan, top down. And I did it in the 2nd size up. So the baby's due at the end of July. So hopefully this will fit. I think it's 6 months potentially is this age it says for this size. But I'd say I'd probably fit him a little bit earlier than that, because the yarn is, the pattern is calls for fingering, and this is a sport, so it's slightly denser and tighter. So I think it might fit him a little bit earlier, but it should be around when it starts getting particularly cold here. Although the weather here can't be relied on, so he may be wearing it before then. But yeah, just plain. There's a little couple holes just under the arms that I need to tighten up, and ends. The only thing, I love stripes, the only thing is ends. In fairness, I kind of carried the yarn as I went. The stripes are quite deep, and because I did 4 rows for every colour, for every stripe, so it's 8 rows before you're repeating a colour, so you have to kind of twist the yarn. So on the edges it's a bit loose, so I'll need to tighten that up in blocking, and just kind of bit of neatening, tidying. Neatening is not a word, Laura. Maybe it should be, but anyway. This is a little sweater for the baby, which is due in July. So I have all that done, just need to finish it off. So they are my 2 finished objects. So once I got both of them off the needles, I decided to cast something new on. So I believe also in the last episode I'd mentioned that I wanted to start a sweater for myself. And I think I said I was doing the Old Romance by Hohi Locatelli. And I think I showed the yarn. So I'm doing it in Drops Flora, which is a wool alpaca blend, and I'm doing it in this greyish colour, which is, I don't know which one it is actually. I do have the ball bands in this bag, but I'm doing it in this greyish colour and this purple. Just looking darker than it really is, but it's a very muted kind of dusky purple, which I love. So so you start off with the lace detail, and I don't know what's happened to me doing things 2 at a time. I usually do sleeves 2 at a time. I did them 1 at a time. I usually do socks 2 at a time. I've done all my socks 1 at a time lately. and I don't know why I didn't cast on these lace inserts 2 at a time, but here we are. So here's the lace. You can see it in there, so it's quite nice and delicate, and I'm pretty happy with this. It's probably the laciest lace I've done. It does take a bit of concentration. I wouldn't be able to do it. I need to look at the chart. It's a very short repeat. It's only like, I think 6 to 8 rows. I did this on a Saturday evening when I was watching a bit of TV, so I haven't picked it up since. So this is a day's worth. So you do these 2 panels that go along the side of the arm here, so they go down the length of your arm, and you do another one for your other arm obviously, and then I don't know what you do next. I'm really bad for when I pick up a pattern. I'm like, okay, I'm going to read the whole pattern, make sure I kind of understand the construction, but then I get too eager and just want to cast on, so I just go for it and work it out as I go, which probably isn't the best idea, but it's worked so far. Haven't had too many major disasters. So this is the Old Romance by Hohi, and it is the first sweater that I've knit for myself, so I'm very excited. I just need to do some work on it. It's not very bus knitting friendly at the moment anyway. I think once you finish the lace bits, the rest of the body is quite potato chippy, as people call it, even though we don't use the phrase potato chips in Ireland. We do, but that is for what Americans would say for fries. Potato chips are crisps here, so it's very crisp knitting, which doesn't seem to have the same ring to it, if you ask me. So another project I'm working on is, I'll show you now, but first I will just show you the yarn that I'm using. So this little nugget here is what is left of my Maker's Haven one of a kind skein that I had 2 skeins of this DK Maker's Haven kind of purple, and this is the 3rd project that I've used it in. I love it, so I just want to use up as much of it as possible. So I used it in the Square and Stripes jumper that I knit for my sister as the contrasting stripe. I used it in my Snow Day shawl as one of the colours, and now I am knitting the a little baby dress. So I'm knitting the Paulina dress by Tega Hillard, which is a free pattern on Ravelry, and I don't know anyone with a small 0 to 3 month old baby, but I saw this dress and I thought it was really cute, and I thought that this yarn would work for it. So I'll show you how far I've gotten. It's so cute. This is one of my most favourite things that I've ever knit. I think it is adorable. Can you even? Look at this. Oh, so cute. Okay, so this yarn as well, I love it. So the colour in stockinette is stunning. It's so tonal and there's so much variation and beautifulness going on in this stockinette section. I can't, it's just gorgeous. Amber, it's gorgeous. So so I used it, as I said, in the Square and Stripes, but that was only a single stripe and you couldn't really get the full stockinette, the value of the stockinette out of it. The Snow Day shawl was garter and very textured, so it's kind of hard to see the tonality, whereas just in stockinette there it is gorgeous. So the body is in stockinette, and then it has this kind of lace, this lacy skirt, which I think you can see there, and I absolutely love it. The back has it's has a little button band, so you will add some buttons, 2 little buttons there to keep it closed so it's not too tight, to get over the baby's head. And it's a very easy knit. The lace repeat is 9 rows, I believe, and it is a rest row in between each lace row. But this is what I was using as my bus knitting, as my commuting knitting. So I travel to Dublin every day on the bus to go to work. It is approximately a 40-minute commute on the bus to, and then 40 minutes home. So I get a reasonable chunk of knitting time in my day. But I was using this as my bus knitting. And I usually get the bus at either 6:30 or 7 o'clock. And one morning I was knitting away on this for 7 o'clock at 6:30, and I was on the rest row when I picked it up. So I knit the rest row and then went to knit the next lace row. So as I was knitting it, it just wasn't working out for me. So the repeat is quite short. So you can see these straight lines here. That's like a panel, that's like a repeat. So I was coming to the end of where I should be finishing the repeat, and there were stitches left and I didn't know what was going on. I tinked it back 3 times and my whole journey was eaten up on one row, and I just couldn't figure out what was going on. So put it away, and then on the way home on the bus I picked it up and I was like, okay, I'm going to figure this out, see what's going on. And I realised that when I was doing the knit row I'd dropped 11 stitches. I was 11 stitches short. I was supposed to have 156 and I had 145. So I don't know, I dropped a lot of the yarn overs when I was doing the knit. I obviously wasn't paying much attention, and I was zooming around on the first row and I was dropping loads of yarn overs and missing stitches, half asleep. So I went through panel by panel and picked up stitches and picked up my yarn overs and knit them and pulled up my drop stitches. So it was a great learning experience because it taught me how to read my lace very well, and just kind of helped me realize how to fix my mistakes. So it was all fixed and I am back on track, and I pretty much know the lace pattern now. It's very, very simple, but I absolutely love this. Now I'm playing yarn chicken. It says that they want this to be 8 inches, this skirt, and there's no way I just won't be able to get 8 inches out of it. So I can either make it a little bit shorter, like a little baby mini dress, but how long is a 3-month-old baby? I think I'll get at least another inch. Maybe I'll probably get about this much on it, I'd say. It's a small nugget, but each repeat only takes like a gram. I think I've got 14 grams left, and each row takes less than a gram. So I've at least 14 rows left. Or I can find another colour and maybe melt it in. But I really like it just being this. So I don't know what to do. But I will figure it out somehow. But I absolutely love that pattern. So it is by it's the Paulina dress by Tega Hillard. It's knit on 3.75mm needles. I'm using the Knit Pro Zings, and this is the One of a Kind Maker's Haven, and I'll be sad when it is gone. But I suppose I'll just have to buy more of Amber's yarn. Oopsies. So that is my second work in progress. I have no socks on the needles at the moment. I do want to cast on a pair of vanilla socks just to have them going. I also want to cast on the second sock of the Fowler Zauber. Is that what it was called? I can't remember. That the cable sock that I had that I was using my Hedgehog Fibers pistachio. So I need to cast that on as well. I think the second sock was Summer Grocery Girls knit along is starting or has started potentially today, or maybe it was last month, but I can use it for that. I just need to actually get going and cast that on. But I think that's all my whips and recent upcoming or near future upcoming knitting. And I do, so moving on, I do have one acquisition which I bought, treated myself to. So I've talked about the Stars yarn before, and it is one of my favourites. It is Ellie and Ada by Laura. She's an Irish dyer. She has a great name if you ask me. Can't beat the name Laura. So I treated myself to this beauty. Isn't it beautiful? So it's very delicate, very subtle. There's this kind of cream, kind of pops of orangey red. So it's quite neutral. Like this is quite neutral, and the pink, it's kind of melts into pink. There's pops of green. I'm not sure if you can see, it's coming very well. Green, almost black or like it's a very foresty deep green. And it's called, Glass Slippers and Unicorns. Beautiful. I love unicorns. Who doesn't? Does anyone actually not love unicorns? Really? So this is 75/25 merino nylon. 100 grams is 425 meters or 460 yards. So I didn't just buy one of these, but 3. So I'm going to knit myself a sweater, a jumper, if you will, a jumper in this. So I don't know what jumper, but I know I want a jumper out of this fingering weight. So some suggestions, something simple, something delicate. I have about 1200, at least 1200 meters here, and I'm not adverse to adding another colour. I have to find another colour to add it if I need extra yardage, but any suggestions you have for a sweater project that will go well with this yarn? Nice and subtle. Love it! It smells so nice. Laura, if you're watching, what do you wash your yarn in? It smells lovely. Or maybe you don't wash it. Well, I'm sure you do, but maybe that's just a natural smell of, oh, it's lovely. Anyway, I have to stop sniffing yarn. I think everyone's a secret yarn sniffer. Not so secret, I don't know. So that is my very exciting acquisition, which I cannot wait to get working with, but I need suggestions of some very simple fingering weight sweaters. So leave them below with your comments. It'd be great. But I think that is pretty much it on the knitting side of the world. It's been a quiet enough 3 weeks. Nothing too crazy or exciting has happened. Myself and Dave have been quite busy. In the previous episode I had mentioned that we were looking at houses, so we've kind of started the whole mortgage side of things, which is exciting and scary. So we have to fill in loads of forms and things like that. So in the evenings I've just been really exhausted, and this week has been so long. This week in work just felt like it was going on forever and ever and ever, and I don't know why, because it wasn't. It was a regular week, but I've just felt that I was a day ahead every day. So on Tuesday I thought it was Wednesday, etc, etc, which is never any fun. Like, no one likes to think that their days are going on and on and on. So this little chap, I'm not sure if I ever told you about him, but he sits up on the ledge quite often and watches over. This is Lenny the lemur. Say hello. Myself and Dave took a trip down to Cork. God, it must be maybe 2 years ago. And we went to Fota, which is a wildlife park, like a big zoo, kind of a more open zoo. You can walk around. There are cages, fences keeping the animals in, but they're kind of wide open spaces. They have like giraffes and all sorts. They have lemurs, I think, meerkats, loads of birds. I got attacked by a goose when I was there. It was terrifying. There's like little dispensers that you can get birdseed and feed the birds that are on there. There's peacocks and geese and chickens just wandering around, and I was feeding the birds. I was a crazy bird lady. Feed the birds, tuppence bag. I think I was probably singing at the time, and in the distance I could see this goose. Not a geese, it wasn't a plural, it was one single goose that was out to get me. I could hear him squawking, and then I could see him taking flight and coming directly for my head. So I got the bird seed and basically threw it at him and ran, and Dave was laughing heartily at my impending doom by Goose. Yes, that is the story. So then Dave bought this for me as a little souvenir of our trip, and he's little Lenny, and he's really cute. If I have any pictures of when we went to Fota, I will include a little video. I think we do, but I'll include a little video so you can see. But I think that is all for this week. Thanks so much for watching. Sorry again for missing a couple weeks. Just been summery. Gonna blame it on the summer. So I will see you all soon. I'm not going to set a time, but it'll probably be in the next week or two. So have a great week, happy knitting, and I'll see you all soon.